Hi guys, if you've been following my channel for any amount of time, you know that I've been covering Joe Biden's slow descent into being senile for quite some time now. The most obvious episode would be my Joe Biden's problem with teleprompters episode, in which we document very clearly how Joe Biden is handled during the 2020 election. Since the election, been 40 some days, and Biden has yet to answer questions at a press conference. As a matter of fact, the only questions that Biden has been put forth was done in a CNN town hall where the questions and the individuals were highly regulated. So it's been 40 some days. Biden hasn't spoken with the press pool. He's yet to answer questions, and he's being handled. Now, I've shown you guys many examples of him being handled, but let's just look at a few so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so before we go through what happened today, I just want to show you a couple of examples of Biden being handled. And these are examples I have yet to play on my channel, but there are also a dozen or so examples that I've played throughout various episodes. Different examples than what I'm about to show you now. But this is what him being handled looks like.
So you don't make somebody else sick.
I want to ask
Sick. What's with this guy?
Steve, that's our time.
Okay. All right. I appreciate your time. Thanks so much to Mr. Vice President as well.
Thank you. I hope I can see you again. Thank you.
Hope so. Thank you.
Oh, okay. It's hilarious to me to see how the press reacts when the Biden team shuts down an interview, because they become so kowtowed and they are immediately apologetic. Oh, I'm sorry. Now, if somebody around the Trump campaign had tried to do that, you can imagine what would have happened. But he gets away with this over and over and over again.
Just one final question, and I will wrap it. But you've got a debate coming up. It's in 2 weeks. President Trump's accusing you of being mentally shot, his words, even suggesting that you're taking something. How do you respond to this pre-debate accusation, and are you looking forward to the debate?
I'm looking forward to the debate, and he's a fool.
Thank you.
The comments are just foolish. Get ready, Mr. President. Here I come. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Biden. Appreciate it.
All
Thank you.
right.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I did want to ask about Social Security, but I know I just wanted to squeeze that one in.
Where am I? Okay.
Yeah, this is for another.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. I wish I had more time. Maybe another time.
Oh, I wish I had more time. I'm really sorry that I didn't have more time. It's hilarious. It's just like these angry pit bulls that are attacking the press secretary and Trump himself. Whenever they get this pushback from a liberal Democrat, they immediately become submissive. And it's hilarious to me, actually. I'm about to come out with another episode either tomorrow or the next day about Joe Biden's reinstitution of President Obama's Operation Choke Point, and how they used the SEC and the FDIC, they weaponized it to go after their political enemies. They do that in every aspect of the government. It's insane. You had the Treasury Department doing all the unmaskings on Flynn and everything. You had the FBI and the CIA lying at the FISA court. You had the IRS scandal where the IRS was targeting conservative 501c3s. You had the press targeting where the Obama administration went after the press and whistleblowers. You had the incident where the intelligence community under Obama they literally took the Senate and House computers, took a hold of them and went through them illegally. It's just one thing after another. They basically weaponize every aspect of the government in order to target their political enemies, and nobody does or says anything.
That's the essence of my whole notion dealing with. You're trying to tell me I'm supposed to stop, but there's more to say here.
This man is the president. So since when does the president keep asking his handlers if it's okay if he does this, or is it okay if I do that, or you're telling me I can't speak anymore, but I'm going to this time? How do you not see that as a person who's being controlled? It's a bigger problem than they want to admit. So, and just another example of how they weaponize and go after their political dissent. They're on the White House YouTube channel, and they've disabled all the comments. They won't even allow the White House petitioning site to stay up. So in the midst of all of this, and 40 some days of him not talking to press, during this latest CV press conference that he was doing with Nancy Pelosi, he didn't know if he was going to take questions from the press afterwards. And he literally delegates to Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House. He says, I think I'm going to take questions if it's okay with you, Nancy, whatever you tell me I should do. This is the president telling the Speaker of the House that he'll stick around and do whatever she tells him to do, right? And what does she do? She just ends the conference call right in his face. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life, you guys. They just are like, yeah, President of the United States, yeah, no, you're not asking questions today. He's like, I think I'll take some questions, Nance, if you'd like. And then somebody in the studio is just like, no, not today, Mr. President. Imagine that. All right, let's watch it in real time.
If we continue to stay laser focused on getting shots in people's arms, responding to the economic crisis, it's going to open up a lot of hearts and a lot of doors for us tomorrow to do the many more things we know we have to do. So I want to thank you all. I really mean from the bottom. I want to thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm happy to take questions if that's what I'm supposed to do, Nance, whatever you want me to do.
And I'll be happy to take questions, Nance, whatever you want me to do. Nancy Pelosi literally laughs at him, looks over to the right, and then just turns off the conference call. Unbelievable what is going on.
Do, Nance, whatever you want me to do.
I mean, seriously, what is really going on? How could a president at this point be the president with the most amount of days without doing a press conference in like 100 years? And yet, all of the press coverage about him is still ongoing, positive. They're like, you're starting to hear some rumblings. Well, he's not doing a press conference. You're just now starting to hear it. You're almost 2 months in. You're just now starting to hear it. And this is, the Joe Biden who promised that his presidency would be the most transparent presidency in history, especially compared to the last presidency. And we're seeing it's just not playing out that way. A lot of things aren't playing out that way. No $2,000 stimulus checks. No instant immigration reform for DACA. No student loan forgiveness. No minimum wage. This is just wild. I don't really know what to say, but it's definitely just the extension of this double standard. And at this point, I don't even really think that you can do anything about it. It's wild. It's wild. But so yeah, I'm doing research into Operation Choke Point. I'm going to do an episode about that because Biden is reviving it. He's bringing it back around. And we're probably going to go over some of the other things that the Obama administration did to attack their political enemies in anticipation of Biden reinstituting those programs. So we'll be going down that rabbit hole for the next week or so. Love you guys. Like, share, sub the channel. Listen, if you guys want to support the channel, any way to do so is in the pinned comment below. I appreciate it. And until next time, peace.